Hey guys, and welcome back to more 7 Days to Die Alpha 18. If you're a new player to 7 Days to Die and only started with Alpha 18, or you had a very long break and you haven't played it in a long time and you don't know what's going on, I hope these 10 random tips that I gathered together will help you out. Now, these tips are not in any particular order or of any ranking of importance. They're just 10 things that I thought of that could help a new player out get started in 7 Days to Die and make life a lot easier for them when they start a new game. I hope it will help you, and I hope you enjoy the video. So let's get started. As you fight zombies in 7 Days to Die, they have a chance of infecting you when they hit you. Once you get infected in 7 Days to Die, that's not the end of the world. You can cure infection with either a jar of honey, with herbal antibiotics, or antibiotics. Now, they have different strengths. While a jar of honey can cure only up to 5% infection and herbal antibiotics up to 10, antibiotics can cure up to 25% infection. Now, both antibiotics and herbal antibiotics can be crafted, with the difference being that antibiotics can be unlocked through the perk Yeah Signs or learned by recipe that you can find or buy at the trader if they have it in stock. And herbal antibiotics can only be unlocked through recipe again, and can be found in loot most likely, or if the trader has it in stock, check for that as well. Now, the jar of honey can't be crafted and there's no recipe for it. However, the jar of honey can be found in loot, possibly bought at the trader, or keep an eye out when accessing vending machines, as it can be purchased there for Tukes as well. However, there's one more way of possibly getting a jar of honey. As you go through the world of 7 Days to Die, you will come across tree stumps. When you come across them, just hit them with your stone axe, or any other axe for that matter. As you destroy them, they have a small chance of ending up giving you a jar of honey, just like this one did, as you can see on the bottom right. And that's it. It's a proper jar of honey. Keep it as you journey through the world. My advice is, you see a tree stump, definitely go for it, kill it dead, and get that juicy jar of honey. Tree stumps can not only be found in the pine forest, but also in the snow biome, and also in the ever so beautiful burnt biome. You may find yourself in need of a lot of bones. Now, bones are used mainly to make glue, but also can be used to make a bone knife, and if eventually you can make a can of sham, are also part of that recipe, but mainly we use them to make glue. Glue, on the other hand, is used to make duct tape, among a lot of other things that are used for mods. So this is usually where we find ourselves in need of a lot of bones. Now, bones can be obtained in several ways. Now, your typical one is, of course, you come across an animal, you hunt it, you kill it, and you smack it. Now, of course, once you have a knife, you should smack it with a knife, because I think the resources are slightly higher that you end up with. One of the other things that you come across in houses, or sometimes even on the side of the road, is dead corpses. Well, they are dead. Decayed corpses, or even decayed bones. So you can just smack them, you get some bones and potassium, or this one, again, you get bones and potassium. Now, these body bags are body bags that you can find in quite a huge amount in army camps. Not every army camp, but some army camps. I couldn't find them in other places yet, but I'm sure there could be other POIs. But in the places I found them was army camps. There was a big pits of like literally holes with tons of body bags. And these body bags, when you hit them with the axe or the knife, give you bones, among other things as well. And they also give you some rotten flesh, which is also very useful. So you can see here, it's probably better with the axe. You can end up getting some bones, which is very, very good. It seems to have a lower chance, but nonetheless, it is a good resource. So keep an eye out for all the different resources. And again, if I miss anything, and you know, of course, of any other sources, let me know in the comments below, and I add them to a pinned comment for completion. At some point in the game, probably most likely very early, you're gonna find yourself crafting a bow. To use a bow, though, you need arrows, and arrows cost resources, especially feathers. Now, finding feathers is quite straightforward. You find a bird's nest. Don't mind Mr. Vulture over here, we'll get to him in a second. You find a bird's nest, you loot it, you can have a chance of getting feathers or eggs. I say a chance because not every bird's nest gives you feathers and eggs, or eggs. So sometimes only eggs, sometimes only feathers, and sometimes both, and sometimes nothing. So loot them when you see them, especially that since Alpha 18 compared to Alpha 17, they have been cut in half, 50% down. So they've spawned 50% less than before. If you come across them and you want to get every single feather out of it, go smack them with an axe and you have a chance of getting more feathers. There you go, we even have a chance of getting some cloth. Now, if you go and want more feathers, one of the ways you can get more feathers is to find vultures. Now, vultures can be found in POIs, in dungeon POIs specifically, when it gets close to the roof. So sneak out on the roof slowly, get the jump on them and kill them. Or you go to the desert biome, or you go to the wasteland biome, or at least on the edge of it, and try to attract one or two vultures. If you have low health, they usually will come for you pretty quickly. Once you kill them, just, again, loot them, you know, either with your axe or with your knife, preferably with your knife, and you end up with quite a lot of feathers very quickly. Just before we continue, one of the other places you can get feathers from is a chicken. So a very good source. Chickens seem to be completely random somewhere in the pine forest area. I've seen them in the snow biome as well. They just run across there very fast, but if you get a chance to kill them, absolutely have a go at them with the knife. And just like vultures, they give you a lot of feathers and bones, which ties in with the previous tip as well, that you can get more bones from these things as well. At some point or another, you find yourself in the desert in 7 Days to Die. Now, a lot of times even on spawn. Now, the good thing about the desert is it has yucca plants and cactus. Now, cacti and yucca plants give you yucca fruit. Yucca fruit comes directly from the yucca plant, and with the cactus, you hit it, and on the last bit, as it destroys, it gets you yucca fruit as well. Now, armed with your yucca fruit, you can straight away, without needing to unlock any perks or recipes, make yucca juice. Yucca juice gives you 34 water and 15% stamina regen. Sure, water gives you that as well, a little bit less water, but the same stamina regen, but it also has a 3% chance of giving you dysentery. So take your bottled water, take your yucca fruit, and turn it into yucca juice whenever you get a chance. Now, while we're in the desert, one of the other things you will find in the desert and are very useful, especially very early game, I mean, if you happen to spawn in the desert, it's great. In that case, aloe vera plants. Just destroy them and they get you aloe vera leaves. Now, with 4 aloe vera leaves, you can make aloe cream. Aloe cream is used, of course, to make first aid bandages, but that is not a recipe you're gonna have unlocked in the beginning. You can't make it. Yeah, it requires the Yes Science perk or first aid bandage schematic. However, aloe cream by itself can be used directly, and it doesn't require a crafting recipe or a perk to unlock, to be applied directly to your body. Max health is increased by 3 and healing is applied of 5, which means you pick up 40 of those bad boys, you have 10 aloe cream, which is like 50 health in your pocket, and up to 30 health, increasing your cap again if you get smacked by a zombie around for a little bit. Now, the good thing is you can also kind of spam them. Once you have them in your toolbox or in your hotbar, there you go. It applies a little buff, as you can see on the bottom left, and that's gone again after a second. What it applies basically is a health recovery buff and a max health recovery buff. And that is really quickly gone, and then just reply it again, and that's it. So very, very good healing in a pinch. Great place, the desert, with yucca and aloe vera. Definitely give it a visit if you haven't spawned into it, and get as much aloe vera and as much yucca as you possibly can. If you find yourself near a snow biome or even spawned in one, the best thing you can do is make a shovel and dig up some snow. It is an extremely useful thing to have for early game drink. A lot of times you find empty jars, you don't find full jars, and you don't find yourself anywhere near a lake or a river. So you could be miles away from one, so you can't fill up your empty jars. What you can do, however, is you can take your snowballs and you can make bottled murky water from it, which is really good. And you don't need a cooking pot anymore for making murky water, which is even better. So then you can take the murky water and, of course, turn it into bottled water straight away, and there you go. If you then have luck and you found some yucca, you can even make it a lovely drink that doesn't give you dysentery, as we said earlier. Now, if you start a new game and you find yourself spawning in the burnt biome, besides trying to get the hell out as quickly as possible, you want to pay attention to these type of buildings as you pass them by. These buildings here usually don't have any zombies in them, they just happen to be around, and as you pass them by, check them out. Not only can have some of them ovens inside that you can loot at a chance of getting a cooking pot and iron and coal, but the ones with the sofa in here also have a chance of spawning a water cooler bottle on top, as well as medical supplies, which is great early game, especially that the water cooler bottle has a chance of pure mineral water. Now, a chance, most of them will be empty. Pure mineral water is amazing. Not only does it give you 60 water and some stamina regen, it also gives you an efficient digestion buff. That once you have drunk it, it applies food cost of regenerating stamina 15%, minus 15%, and the water cost of regenerating stamina is lowered by 20%. Absolutely amazing. Very great early find. And of course, the medical supply can contain things like tablets, but also first aid bandages and even other things that are considered first aid. So very good find. Again, you spawn in the burnt biome. Not only can you get honey from tree stumps, you can also get amazing drinks and amazing medical supplies as you pass by these buildings. Usually it's the one with the couch, but always check the top. The other buildings that have the oven, they still have things on top like sports bags, rubbish piles, or even suitcases cases which can contain ammunition and other things. Now we might as well cover the Wasteland biome. The Wasteland biome is death, absolute death. Now in the Wasteland biome, at later game stages, you do have a chance as you mine towards resources underground of coming across diamond mines or diamond mining nodes and silver mining nodes, I believe. So you do have a chance of getting some valuables in the Wasteland. However, the Wasteland overall, especially in the beginning of the game, is a big pain. If you happen to spawn there just so we can cover it, the best thing you can do is on the way out, get as much iron as possible. These things are easily destroyed along the way. You find sports bugs, you find goodies, nothing really too special, but again, keep an eye out for that as you run for your life to get the hell out. If you're in the middle of a Wasteland biome and you're new to 7 Days to Die, I would just say re-roll, restart until you get probably spawned into a pine forest biome. I just wanted to show it and include it in this video because you can spawn in it, and I don't think I found a lot of positives actually about it or hidden secret resources like, for example, in the burnt biome. But if you know of any that are of really cool benefit in the Wasteland, especially early game, if you happen to spawn in it, let me know in the comments below. Also, there's dogs in here, so again, get out as quickly as possible and don't hang around. So as a new player, when you complete your starting quests, the last one is going to bring you to a trader. When you get to the trader, you cannot just buy and sell things with him. Also check the premises. There is about 3 or 4 different variations of traders, and they each can be looted. Absolutely, go into their house, loot their cupboards, get everything out, and if you need the money, sell it. It's free money. Or you even get lucky and might find even a cooking pot, or in the sink you might even find a wrench. So you can get decked out in a completely safe environment for looting because zombies can't get in because everything in the trader is protected. Now every trader also has usually all of the workbenches not working necessarily. Though the chemist station in this one I couldn't really find. So we have a cement mixer here which happens to work, so you can use it, absolutely. You can go to the trader, queue up your stuff and use it. However, the trader will kick you out in the evening. I think if you have your default settings on, at 10 o'clock the zombies start running. Just before that, I think it's half an hour before, he will kick you out. You will hear a notification before he does though, about 30 in-game minutes beforehand, and that gives you a chance to get out. If you happen to be in the trader when it closes, it just spawns you outside the trader, so be careful, you have things to defend yourself with. Now some of these workbenches and tools are actually destroyed, but you can still find loot in them. This one, for example, was a forge which didn't work and had stone and glass in it. Not that it's amazing loot, but nonetheless, free loot is free loot. Look at this, gas cans, absolutely fantastic. Now again, if you can't find the station, don't worry about it. Oh, look at this, there's a chemistry station as well, but it's not working, and we got free wood. That is amazing. Then go to the trader and sell all your stuff. Once you rob the trader blind, go in and sell him his own junk, but before you do, pay close attention to what is behind him. Some of those weapon safes in some traders are very close to the front, and you actually can reach them. So if you have lockpicks in your inventory, you will be able to open them and get free guns and ammunition, whatever is in it. I don't know, if you get lucky looter high, you can find some awesome stuff in there and then sell it to him or keep it for use. There's some bookshelves behind some others, but I haven't figured out how to reach them yet because they're usually a little bit flatter and you can't reach them. Also, some of them have working registries. Again, open them, loot them. They have I found up to 130 tukes in them, free money. So once you talk to the trader, you will probably be tempted to say, oh, I'm thirsty, I'm hungry, I want to buy food, I want to buy drink. Don't do that. The prices on the trader are extremely high, usually. So what happens is you just sell him your stuff, make some tukes, go outside and go to the vending machine that is outside the traders. In the vending machine you can find usually a couple of things, some drinks, and it keeps changing. It's not always the same. You can see it gets restocked at day 2. And there you find things more affordable. Canned food for up to 20, for even as low as 20. Goldenrod tea, 48. Goldenrod tea would cost a lot more at the trader. Now, even with Lucky Looter, I believe if you have a point in Lucky Looter, it impacts both prices. Let's actually check that out. Not Lucky Looter, I'm sorry, my apologies. In Better Barter, if we put points into Better Barter here, for example, it does change the prices of the vending machine as well. So not only do you get the discount on the trader, also the vending machines. So always check the vending machines for a better price on canned food and drinks. Now this last one here is more of a, I suppose, tying in with a preference or a style of play you enjoy playing the most. However, in my opinion, one of the best weapons you can craft early game and want to learn to use as well as possible, because it will be an absolute game changer for melee combat in the game for you if you're used to the melee club, is the spear. The game will ask you to craft a melee club. The game does not actually tell you about the stone spear when in the beginning quests, but you can craft it straight away. It doesn't require a perk or anything, and it requires only 3 plant fibers, 3 wood, and 5 stone. So once you finished your quest and you made your wooden club, you see it does 14 damage, 28 power attack. The spear only does 10 damage, but it does a 39% power attack. Not only that, but where the club can't reach, the spear can, which is amazing. So there you go, the spear can actually reach her. So that allows you to have a bit of a bigger distance as you back paddle fighting the zombie. But not only that, what the spear is really used for, which I enjoy the most, is the power attack. You just throw it at the zombie and immediately pick up your spear again just to throw it again. And that is the power attack, which uses actually very little stamina. When you start a new game, you will get 2 power attack throws out of it before your stamina is down to about 10 or 15, and then you just keep smashing it in the face with the normal attack. But usually 2 power attacks, especially aimed at the head, will kill the zombie immediately. And especially if you're playing on default difficulty, even sometimes if you get a crit, a single headshot will take it out cold. Absolutely fantastic weapon. So this is, as I said, it's not kind of applies to everyone. It's more of a, is that how you prefer to play? But if you have 2 or 3 spears in your inventory, you even can take the risk of just throwing them and just backpedaling and keeping a bigger distance and just keep picking them up afterwards. It's up to you. I'm gonna leave this video here. This was aimed mainly at new players of 7 Days to Die that started with Alpha 18. There's a billion other things that I didn't cover, of course, but I just took the ones that I kind of thought of as I was playing through Alpha 18 or on the stream, things that people told me about as well, and I thought that they would be a good starting point. Now, if they helped you, great. If you're not new to 7 Days to Die and they helped you, that's also great. Absolutely fantastic. If you know anything that it would be useful to new players, let me know in the comments below. It will help definitely other people who will read the comments who are new to 7 Days to Die. Now, either way, I hope you had a good time with the video. If you did, remember to kick that like button in the balls, and I hope I see you guys in the next video. And if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, hit that subscribe button, and see you guys next time. Until then, as always, viel Spaß and happy gaming.